Hey guys, what's up? This is Francisco with Valariso Capital. And in this video, we're going to do a quick overview of the market. We're going to go through some of the main indexes. We're going to check the SPY, the QQQ, and the Dow Jones. And then we're going to move into some of the outperforming ETFs. I think there's a lot of opportunity in the market. There are a lot of setups that are looking bullish, but the most important thing is to actually be looking at the outperforming ETFs, right? Because if you're looking at tech has been underperforming for some time, and there's a lot of opportunity. And we're gonna take a look at some of the ETFs, and we're basically gonna generate. We're going to generate a lot of ideas. And I hope this video is gonna be helpful and it's gonna help you throughout the week, because if you focus on the outperforming ETFs, you're gonna do good in the market, and most importantly during this week and month. So now let's take a look really quickly here. We have the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF. And you can see here, right, I have kind of a head and shoulders bottoming pattern that we have here. And basically, we had a really strong move to the upside, right? We have a really strong move to the upside. We move above the declining 50 DMA. We move above that 200 daily. And what I think is really important to notice here is that we actually, right, we actually closed, we actually had a daily close above that 458 pivot. So so far, that is a higher high. Is this a changing trend? We cannot say that for sure right now. We can see that the price, right, we had a high volume day, we closed below that 50, but of course we have to take into consideration that it was options expiration week. So maybe that has to do a lot with the high volume here. But so far we closed below that 50, that declining 50 daily moving average. But so far we are holding this low right here. Now there is a probability that price is going to make a move somewhere around this 430 level, where we have the first support of next week weekly quant pivots. So that's a level that I'm going to be watching. But if we find support somewhere around this level right here, that is going to be a higher high and perhaps a higher low. That could be a change in the trend. That's something that's kind of an assumption. We have to wait for price to confirm what we're thinking, but we just have to aware we should be aware that that is a possibility. So that for now is what I'm looking here at the SPY. Of course, there's not much of an edge here, and we should wait for a little bit more of confirmation, a little bit more of tight price action to get better entries so that we can manage risk a little bit better. Now let's take a look at the QQQ. And you can see the QQQ here, right? We have here I measure the Fibonacci retracement from this low to this high, and you can see that we stop right there at that 0.618 level. For any of you guys that study Fibonacci, you should understand that this is a really important level in Fibonacci retracements. And you can see that we are stopping right there, right? So is this going to be the low? Is this going to be the place where the market is going to turn? We, of course, don't know, but so far that level has been holding, and that level hold for the week. Are we forming a head and shoulders bottoming pattern with a neckline right here? We will have to see, right? But that is a possibility. But so far right now, ranges continue to be really volatile. So we should wait for price to trend again these moving averages right here, because right now we are below a declining 8, below a declining 21, and below a declining 50 daily moving average. And of course, we continue to trade below a 200 daily moving average. Now let's take a look at the DIA, which I consider to be a really interesting ETF in this environment, right? You can see kind of the same bottoming action that we had here, right? The head and shoulders bottoming pattern here. We actually had a really strong move, right? We move up above that 50 daily moving average. And what is really interesting right here, we continue to hold that 50 daily moving average. And I think that as long, right, if you were looking, right, the SPY is trading below the 50, the QQQ is trading below the 50, but the DIA right here is trading actually above that 50. If we could continue to get some tight price action between this 200 daily and this 50, I think there's a high probability chance that the DIA is going to be the outperforming ETF looking forward from this point right here. So this one is actually looking pretty interesting, and I think that you should keep this ETF on your watch list. Now let's move into some of the the outperforming ETFs that I'm looking here, we have some really nice setups here. This one is GDX. This is the mining ETF. And this one looks great, right? Kind of the BCP formation. You can see that we continue to make higher lows. And we are basically breaking out here right above this 4026 pivot, which is actually pretty strong, right? Some people call this the BCP pattern, right? The volatility contraction pattern. And right now we're starting to get that break above. So this one is looking pretty nice. I think we have a little bit of resistance somewhere around this level right here, which is somewhere around this 41.50, 42. And then we are looking somewhere around that 44 level. But this one is looking pretty nice. And I think as long as you continue to focus on what is outperforming, you should be good in this environment, because this is a really textbook setup. And look at this, just trending above that 21 exponential moving average. So this one is looking pretty nice. Now let's take a look at the XLB, which is basically the materials ETF. And this one is looking great, right? We kind of have this double bottom right here, and we had this strong move right above that 50 daily moving average. And what is holding support? That rising 21 exponential moving average. So this one is basically trending, right? We can see that we are kind of flagging right above that 21 exponential moving average. And as long as price continues to trade on a daily closing basis above the 21 exponential moving average, I think it's safe to say that the XLB is looking for higher prices here. So this one is looking pretty nice. Now let's take a look at another outperforming ETF, and that is XLE, which is the energy sector, looking pretty nice here, right? If you actually put this one and the GDX, they basically look the same, right? You can see that XLE holding that 21 exponential moving average and basically doing that BCP pattern, right? That volatility contraction pattern, going right into that pivot. And I think we should expect a breakout next week, and I will be looking for a target somewhere around that 84 level up here. So this one is also looking pretty nice. Now let's take a look at XLB, which is the healthcare sector. And we can see here, right? We can see that we are having a lot of volume coming into this ETF, kind of a head and shoulders bottom formation, right? Kind of a break, right? A break above this trend line, right? This trend line right here. And right, really strong volume, right? Nice volume coming into that in that breakout, right? In that breakup above that 50 daily moving average. And right now, price is just trending above that 8 exponential moving average and trending above that 21 exponential moving average. Perhaps we're gonna get kind of a handle formation here. I'll be looking for a breakout, and there are a lot of names that are looking really good in the healthcare sector as well. And now finally, for another outperforming ETF, I have the XME here. And this one has been trending for a while, right? You can see right here that we had a kind of a base forming. We price waited for that 200 daily to catch up with price. We continue to trend above it. We had a really strong move. We had the test here. And what happened here, which is actually pretty interesting, right? As soon as we got that breakout, what is the first moving average that acted as support? And that was the 21 exponential moving average right here, which is the blue line. And what happened next? That 21 exponential moving average acted as support once again, and is acting as support one more time. So this is kind of a textbook trend following kind of situation that we have right here. So what should we expect, right? We're moving above this pivot on really nice volume, right? There's a nice breakout, and I think there's a probability that this ETF will just continue higher, right? I think we should be looking somewhere around that 68 to that 70 level in the coming weeks, which is kind of the level where we have the quant pivot levels above. So this one is looking pretty nice as well. So let me take a look at some of the of some other sectors, right? We have the USO, which is also looking pretty nice here, right? We have which we had a really strong move, right? Coming from that 21 exponential moving average. We got really stretched, right? And kind of like a rubber band, we came right back down all the way into that 21 exponential moving average. We came down a little bit more. We had a really strong move. Price got a little bit volatile. But what is the moving average that is holding, right? That 50 daily moving average right there acting as support. We have some nice volume coming in, and now price is starting to trend above these levels. And I think that if we actually draw a trend line here, just give me a second. I think we're actually getting a breakout above this trend line right here. And there we go. Yep. We're starting to get a breakout right here above that trend line. So I think I think that there's safe to say that we are probably going to move to this pivot right here, and perhaps crude is going to retest those highs that we met somewhere around this level right here. So crude is looking pretty nice, right? As long as this continues to trend above that 50 daily moving average, as long as this 8 exponential continues to trend above this 21 exponential moving average, we should just expect higher prices in this ETF as well. Now let's take a look at some of the other ETFs that I'm watching. I'm watching at gold, and gold is looking pretty nice here, right? You can see that 50 daily moving average acted as support. We got some really nice tight price action right here, and we're starting to break out to the upside, right? You can see that we kind of have a kind of a cup here, right? And we're starting to trend above it. This day right here is really important because we tested that day and we had a really nice daily closing range somewhere at the highs of the bar. And I'm looking for this to continue higher, right? This is the retest, kind of the retest of that pivot. And I think that gold is actually setting up for a really strong move, at least to test this high right here. But this one has been trending really nicely. And the same as USO, if this continues to trend above that 821 and 50, we should just expect higher prices, and there's no need to try to bet against and move higher in gold. So this one is looking pretty nice to the upside. And then I have UNG. This was a pretty amazing move, right? In natural gas, pretty insane. One really funny thing is that I got involved right here into this day, and I was using a really tight stop. I was using the 21 exponential moving average as my stop, and I got a stop this day right here. And then this happened. I'm not saying that I would have held all the way up here, but I was positioned. I was positioned for a move higher. I was looking for a test of these highs right here, but I got a stop right this day, right the next day, and then UNG just took off. So those are the things that happen. I'm waiting for a pullback, right? I'm waiting for a pullback to that 21 exponential moving average to perhaps get a position in UNG. But this one is moving pretty nicely, and it's starting to get a little bit parabolic, right? Well, it already got a little bit parabolic, but look at this, right? Be aware of this high right here. I think there's a probability that this 21 exponential is going to catch up with price, and we're probably going to get a retest. Most often than not, we get a retest. So just have your alerts ready. I have an alert somewhere around 23. And if price get there, right? Because remember that trading is not about having a crystal ball and knowing where the price is going to go, but it's most about knowing at what level are you going to get involved and what is going to be your risk management when price get to that level. So my level in UNG is going to be somewhere around 23 to 22. And then I'm just going to see where the 21 exponential moving average is trading, how are the volume patterns and all that kind of fun stuff. But this one is looking really nice, and I think is one that you should keep on your watch list as well. And then finally, let's take a look at SLV, which is the silver ETF, right? We can see that we had a really strong move off of that 200 daily moving average, and SLV also using that 50 daily moving average as support. And you can see that we are already trading somewhere around this pivot right here. Nice volume. And I think there's a probability that SLV, probably we're going to get a little bit of a handle here. And then I'll be looking for SLV to retest these highs right here. But of course, between SLV and GLD, I think that you can do a little bit better with GLD, at least in my personal opinion. So that's basically what I have for you guys in this short video. Just, I don't think there's a need to take a look at SMH or XLK, XLY, and all those other ETFs, because they're actually not doing much, right? If we just take a look at SMH really quickly, you can see that this is right. This is kind of a mess, right? This is basically trading below the moving averages. We're retesting the lows. If anything, if this bounces, it's gonna be a really volatile move. So there's no need to check to waste your time looking at these names when you can look at something like GDX or something like XLE, something like those kind of ETFs. So I think that if you keep your focus on the things that are trending, there are a lot of opportunities in the market. And I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys. Always remember to like and subscribe. Leave some names in the comments if you want me to check some of the names that you're watching. Make sure to write it in the comments, and I'm be really glad to do it. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Have a good one, and I wish you the best of lucks in this upcoming week. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Bye bye.